Welcome to episode 100.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
So the big challenge is, how can house owners like you and me get a flood-free home? How can business managers like you and me get a flood-free company? And how can public servants provide flood-free critical infrastructure and livable cities?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe. This podcast is for foresighted and proactive people who do not want to shovel the muddy water out of their room while standing in the midst of the disaster.
Therefore, those who design and plan, the architects and engineers, need to construct such buildings and cities, and that even when the entire environment is completely flooded. That is a challenge, and this podcast will give the answers.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
Welcome, we made it to episode 100. Time is really running. Thank you for joining me on this journey to protect what you value most from flooding. Today I want to give you a single clear story that ties together everything we have learned over the last 99 episodes here at the podcast of Flood Protection Secrets. Because if there is one message I want you to remember, prevention is cheaper than cleaning up the mess after a disaster. Clear? Simple, huh? Prevention is cheaper than cleaning up the mess after a disaster. Yeah, imagine a family sitting on plastic chairs outside their flooded home, the sun finally shining after days of heavy rain. They watch as soaked furniture, children's books, and a broken refrigerator are pulled out of their home, all ruined. They look at each other tired and silent, thinking about how hard they work to buy these things only to lose them overnight. And their youngest son picks up a teddy bear covered in mud. It was his comfort at night, now wet and smelly, ready for the trash pile. Yeah, I really can imagine this situation, and I remember my teddy bear, but luckily he is still in good shape. Very sad to hear what happens with this teddy bear in this story. And they did not have flood protection. That is why it happened. They thought it would be too expensive, but now they face costs for new furniture, costs for electrical repairs, costs for rebuilding walls, lost work days, lost documents, lost memories. Memories you cannot buy. All the other things you can buy as long as you have enough money, but not the memories that have gone. Perhaps the first curly hair of your daughter or your son, and the milk tooth of the children, or the golden ring from the great grandparents. Whatever, all these memories are gone forever. So, yeah, this family, they spend months of repairing, using up their savings meant for education or a small family holiday. A few streets away, another family faced the same heavy rain, but they had installed tested flood barriers a year before. While neighbors' homes flooded, they stayed dry. Yeah, and no cleanup, no loss of documents, no destroyed memories, just normal life continuing after the storm. The difference? A decision made before the rain came. And that brings us to the conclusion. Prevention is not just about flood barriers. It's about protecting your dreams, your family, your investments, and your peace of mind. That's it. That is as simple as it is. And at the very beginning, I said, I want to share one message, and I want you to remember one message, and that is prevention is cheaper than cleaning up the mess after a disaster. Yeah, prevention is not just about flood barriers. It's about protecting your dreams, your family, your investment, and your peace of mind. Yeah, every episode we have shared, every piece of advice, every story, it all comes down to the simple truth. You are only one flood barrier away from keeping your future safe. And for all those followers who have listened to some or perhaps all episodes before, you know that quite often I share a golden nugget at the end of an episode. And here it comes for you at this Jubilee episode 100 at Flood Protection Secrets. Here comes my golden nugget for you today. Flood barriers are not an expense. They are an insurance, your peace of mind, your quiet confidence that you will not be part of the next disaster headline. But choose wisely the right test and heavy-duty flood barriers, not the cheap ones that do not work when you need them most. Yeah, that is my golden nugget. That was my golden nugget. And if this episode 100 inspired you, go back and listen to the previous episodes to learn the practical steps you need to for your flood protection project. Subscribe to Flood Protection Secrets on your favorite platform for podcasts. If you want to act now, reach out to the flood experts at our Asian headquarters in the Philippines, or contact me. My name is Andreas Klippe directly. Let's ensure that you are ready before the next flood comes. Stay safe, stay dry, and always, I cannot repeat it, stay flood free. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day. Do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode. I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood free. Your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with the new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.floodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering, German quality, safe. Flood Protection Secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.